All right, the live is on, everybody. Making a live. We doing a live a little bit. I think we're a little bit early today. I think we're coming a little bit early today, but listen. Better late than never, better early than never. Better early than anything, and never late is better. So as y'all coming in, if you're watching this on replay, it's all good. Shout out to you for watching it on replay. If you're watching this live, I think I'm talking before people come in, but if you're watching this live, you can shout yourself out in the comment section. I will shout you out. And then we're going to get into it. I got Facebook on my left as well. So if anybody is anybody watching on Facebook, y'all could, well, you can leave a comment and we'll get to it when we get to it, because it will be around. And if you're on Facebook Live, you can shout yourself out and we're going to get into it. We got 25 minutes to get this done because I got a call. I got to get on at exactly 4 o'clock, and I don't do lateness, so we're going to get this done quick. We don't do color people time here. We do everything early. Early is on time over here at Work on Your Game University, in case anybody didn't know. So as y'all coming in, go ahead, shout yourself out. I'm going to shout out people who have commented. Then we get right into what we got to talk about here today. Shout out to Nick from North Carolina, Mozart Gates. Let me pin my comment there so everybody know what we're talking about. Saleh checking in from Jordan. All right, let's get to it. And shout out to the lurkers on Facebook who ain't say nothing. But anyway, my name is Dre Baldwin, also known as Dre All Day. Former 9-year professional athlete. I'm the author of 27 books. I've done 4 TED Talks. I am a creator. I've created over 15,000 pieces of content, more content than any human being alive. That's an absolute fact. There's nobody you can name who's created more content than me. Nelson from Winter Haven was good. And what I do now, I'm the owner of this company called Work on Your Game, the CEO of the company. What we do is take the mental tools that are necessary to get into the 1% of your profession, and I teach you how those apply. Of course, I apply them in the sports world. I teach you how to apply them in your everyday life. I teach you how to apply those same principles in your business life, and understanding the difference between with sports and business. You can't really say who's in the 1% because everybody doesn't have the same scoreboard. But whatever your scoreboard is, I'm going to tell you how to get to the top 1% of your potential and what you do. That's what Work on Your Game is all about. I'll tell you about these publications that I got in front of me later on, how you can get both of these for free. I'll tell you about this one right here, which, I mean, you can see it here, you can see it here, you can see it probably somewhere on my page. We're going to get into that in a minute. What we're talking about here today are the things that you need to make it. I'm going to tell you 4 specific elements that every human being needs to, quote unquote, make it, whatever it means to make it. If you want to make it on Broadway, from what I hear, Broadway is shut down right now. Nobody could even do Broadway. So if you was trying to make Broadway now, I don't know what you're doing. Maybe you're doing TikTok, maybe you're doing Zooms, maybe you're doing YouTube. I don't know. If you're trying to make it as an athlete, if you're trying to make it as a podcaster, you're trying to make it as an entrepreneur, you want to make a certain amount of money every year, you're trying to make it as a fill in the blank. Who's trying to make it as something right now? Go ahead and leave it in the comment. Tell me what you're trying to make it as. Whatever you're trying to make it as in life right now, there are 4 specific elements that you will need. These apply to everyone in any field. Doesn't matter your age, sex, location, race, or political affiliation. You need all 4 of these elements in order to make it in what you're doing in life. This is the winning combination. And some of these items you will be able to control a lot more than some of the others. But I'm going to tell you how to work around all of that, why, and what to do with it. All right, I'm going to get all of that. All of that is going to go into what we're talking about here. And every comment that anybody's leaving, I will address it. Even if people responding to what I just asked, I'm going to address all of that when we get to the end. And again, we got to end at exactly 4 o'clock. So let's get into it. Number 1 thing you need skill. Number 1 thing you need to make it in life is you got to have some game. All right, when I say game in this context, I'm talking about skill. That means practiced ability. Did everybody hear what I just said? Skill is a practiced ability. That means something you can do because you worked on it, because you trained, because you practiced, because you got the knowledge, somebody gave you the information, because you have been, the intentional work. So when Malcolm Gladwell talks about that, you heard that the 10,000 hour rule. You put in 10,000 hours, you become an expert at something, you become precise at it. Understand that's 10,000 hours of dedicated intentional practice, not just 10,000 hours just being out there lollygagging. It's 10,000 hours you actually are trying to get better. You are doing something intentional to improve yourself. You must have skill in order to get on and to make it in anything that you do in life. Now, while this sounds very simple, it sounds very, quote unquote, common sense, what some people will call it. Here's the thing. Common sense ain't that common. There are a lot of people who don't have a lot of skill. There's a lot of people who are trying to do something. They are not very skilled at the thing that they're doing, either because A, they don't recognize that they don't have skill, so they're delusional about their lack of ability. Or B, they know that they need skill, they just have not developed it yet, and they're taking too long. They're dragging their feet as if they have forever to get to it when they absolutely don't. Or C, they're trying, but they just don't know what the hell they're doing. So even though they're working hard and putting a lot of time in, they are still not developing any skill. Maybe some of you know some people who fit that description. Maybe some of you do fit that description directly, and that you just don't have the skill. But understand, you're not going to make it anywhere in life if you don't have the ability. The saying is, the cliche is, skills pay the bills. And that cliche has lasted because the cliche is for real. If you don't have the skills, nobody's going to pay you. Who's going to pay you to be a plumber if you can't fix a broken toilet? Who's going to pay you to be a car or body shop person if you can't fix the dent in somebody's Honda Civic? Who is going to pay you to be an iPhone screen repair person if you can't fix a broken screen on somebody's iPhone 7 or whatever their problem is? If you can't actually do the thing that you're charging money for, why would anybody pay you for it? That is a trick question. Nobody will pay you for it. All right, don't even try to answer it. You cannot pay bills without skills. So this one you can control to a large extent. So when we talk about having skills, we talk about having game, you have damn near 100% control over how much game or how much skill you have. Now that doesn't mean you need to do all of it yourself. For you to develop skill, for example, if you want to learn how to swim and you don't know how, it might help you and shorten your learning curve if you went and hired a swimming coach who could actually teach you how to swim rather than you just jumping in the pool and hoping you figure it out before you drown. So you can go get some help, but you can control that. You can get help with somebody who can show you the skills that you need, but as long as you're willing to put in the time and put in the work, and you can find the people who have the information, you can develop as much skill or as little skill if you want, okay? So the skill, and there are some skills though, however, if you don't have some natural inclinations, it may be a little bit harder for you to develop them. For example, if you're a 5'2" tall basketball player, the skill of dunking might be really hard. Now you can hire the best vertical jump coach in the world, but if you're only 5'2", it's gonna be really hard for you to get all the way up there to dunk the basketball, no matter who's training you. You can do all the work and do everything right and be completely dedicated, disciplined, all of that. But if you don't have certain natural inclinations, you may not be able to develop that skill. So you also must have the skill of discernment. That means judgment and knowing where does it make sense to invest my time and effort in order to develop skill. All right. Not every skill is necessary. Like I could learn if I wanted to. I could learn how to fix a broken toilet, but is it worth it? All right. Does that have anything to do with my business? Is it going to help me in any way? I could do it, but is it worth it? So next time my toilet breaks, I can either learn it myself, it might take me 6 months, or I could call a plumber and they can fix it in 60 minutes. Which one makes more sense? You have to make that decision at some point. So skill, yes, anybody can develop it. That does not mean you should develop every skill because you don't need every skill. Number 2, we're talking about the 4 things that you need to quote unquote make it in life. Number 2 thing you need is talent. Talent. Now, some of you right now are wondering, wait a minute, Dre, isn't skill and talent the same thing? No, skill and talent are not the same thing. I'm going to explain to you the difference, and I'm going to tell you why you need both of these individually, not one or the other. You need both. Talent is God-given ability that you did not practice for. You did not train for. You did not get any information. You did not pass go. You did not collect $200. This is something that you just had at the beginning of the game. That's what talent is. Talent is just natural ability. All right. A talent is, let's say if you're a basketball player and you're 7 feet tall, that size is a talent by itself. No, regardless of whether you can dribble, shoot, pass, dunk, make a layup, just being that tall is a talent in basketball because basketball is a tall person's game. All right, just having that ability is that ability. If you're a bodybuilder and your parents were both bodybuilders or they both have really big body sizes and they got the right genetics for you to put muscle onto your body, you have talent for becoming a bodybuilder. Doesn't mean you're going to become Schwarzenegger or the best bodybuilder in the world, but you have some natural inclinations that can work for you as opposed to some skinny person who should probably be running marathons instead of trying to be a bodybuilder. See, the person who has the body of a marathon runner shouldn't try to be a bodybuilder because you don't have the talent to do bodybuilding. And the guy with the bodybuilding body shouldn't try to be a marathon runner because you don't have the talent to be a marathon runner. Now, could the bodybuilder become okay? Could they complete a marathon? Yes. Are they going to win one? Probably not. Now, could the marathoner put muscle on their body? Yes. Are they going to become an IBBF, the bodybuilding thing? I think it's IBBF. Are they going to become an IBBF pro? Probably not. They don't have a body build for that. They don't have a body size. They don't have the talent. Talent is a natural inclination, ladies and gentlemen. And sports and in entertainment is a place where we see talent all the time. But understand, there are talented doctors, there are talented writers, there are talented salespeople, there are talented YouTubers, there are talented TikTokers, there are people who are talented all over the place. A talent is a natural inclination or natural ability. You just get into something and you just take to it immediately. Doesn't mean you automatically become the best in the world, but you just have some ability at it that you don't know where it came from. It's just part of who you are as a person. Now, I want you all to understand something. Every human being is talented at something. Actually, I would say every human being is talented at a few things. The challenge is many people never find out what they're talented at. So their talent goes to waste, or they know what they're talented at, but they ignore the talent because they want to force themselves into something that they don't belong in. The square peg in a round hole situation. That's another reason people waste their talent. Or people have talent, but they are not willing to do the work to harness that talent and turn it into a serious professional level, making it level skill because they don't want to do the work. So if you ever met a talented person who was also lazy, there's a whole bunch of those in the world. They have the talent, they recognize their talent, they have been recognized for their talent, but they don't want to do the work, so their talent doesn't become anything. It just basically goes to waste. They just become a waste of talent. Any of you ever known someone who was just a waste of talent? They were really good, they just didn't do anything with it. So understand, to become a professional and to make it at what you do, you need skill and talent. Let's take an example. Kobe Bryant is an example. Was Kobe a talented basketball player? Absolutely he was. Did Kobe Bryant also have basketball skill? Absolutely he did. The talent was his natural inclinations. Now, his father was a basketball player. He had a good amount of size. He had some athletic ability. He took to the game of basketball really quickly when he got into it, at least according to the stories. And then, according to the stories, he did a lot of work, right? He worked on his game. He had trainers. He worked on his body. He worked on his technique. He learned all the things that he didn't know, and he continued to get better. That's the skill part. Talent was the natural part. Skill is the hard work part. You need a combination of natural ability and effort to make it. Okay? Everybody understand that? Everybody understand the difference between talent and skill? Good. Third thing you need. Today we are talking about the 4 elements that you need to make it in life. Number 3 thing you need, timing. Timing and talent. These 2 things that I just talked about, these you don't always control. First of all, you don't control what talents that you have. You do not control your talents. Whatever you're naturally good at, you're naturally good at. And the way that you discover your talents is you have to try different things. A challenge for a lot of people in life is that they try to do the things that they see everybody else doing, but your talent may be completely different. But if you never try that other thing, you never find out that you were talented at something. So this other one, timing. Timing is being in the right place at the right time, knowing the right person, having something happen to you sometimes by happenstance. You can strategize for timing in some ways. If you know the opportunity usually happens over here, you don't know when it's going to happen, but you know it has happened over here before. One of the smart things you can do, a good strategy, is to be there wherever that place is. Just be there all the time. Maybe something will happen to you. If you're just there all the time, when something does happen, at least you're around when it happens, and maybe you'll be the one that the timing and the luck brushes off on. So timing, you can't always control it. You don't know when things are going to happen in life, but you can be in the right places. All right, you know that nothing's happening in your house when you're sitting on the couch. All right, stop staying in your house and sitting on the couch, because you know you can't be the beneficiary of good timing sitting on the couch. You know you can't be the beneficiary of good timing hanging out with the losers in the neighborhood who don't do anything. Then stop hanging with them, because you know good timing cannot happen to you hanging with those individuals. So go to where the stuff is happening. Wherever it's at, wherever it's happening, that's the place that you need to be. So when something else happens there, you could be in the room, and maybe you'll be the one that it happens to. Somebody will recognize your talent and your skill, and then you can make it, things can pop off for you. So you can't always plan for timing. You can't make good timing happen, but you can do the right things to put yourself in a position for good timing to happen. For example, let's think of an example of this. Let's say an artist, Justin Bieber. I heard Justin Bieber got discovered because his mom was putting his video of him singing on YouTube or something like this. And this is before YouTube even popped off, like the early days of YouTube, because his mom recognized that her son had some singing talent. And he kept putting his videos out on YouTube, and he got discovered. I think it was Usher, the singer, who actually initially discovered Justin Bieber, and then somebody else got put on to somebody else, and Justin Bieber became Justin Bieber. That was timing. He didn't know that was going to happen. I doubt he planned, or I'm going to become a famous singer because I'm going to put a video on YouTube. And this is way before YouTube was this is before people were making a living off of YouTube. So he was doing that. He did that, and the timing happened to him because he was where it was. He thought, at least he hoped, something was going to pop off. Something popped off there. Another example could be someone who, let's say you're trying to get a job. Les Brown tells a story how he was trying to get a job at a radio station. They wouldn't hire him. They said, there's no jobs here. We're not hiring anybody. Stop coming back here. But he kept showing up anyway. And eventually the boss said, man, all right, just give me some coffee, and gave him a job. He became an intern, unpaid intern, working for free. And then eventually one of the radio disc jockeys was having a bad day. He was drunk or something like that. Les Brown got to go on air, and he never came off the air after that. He got his opportunity because he just kept hanging around where he thought the opportunity might be at. So this takes a little bit of insight, a little bit of inference, and a little bit of, we have to admit, luck. Which brings us right into point number 4. The topic today is 4 things you need to make it in life. We got less than, just a little bit over 10 minutes to go in this. Number 4, luck. Yes, luck is one of the things that you need to make it in life. You do need luck. Luck can be created, ladies and gentlemen. I talked about this in episode number 840 of my show, How to Use Luck. You can access that show at Work on Your Game University, workonyourgameu.com. You need luck to make it in life. Timing sometimes can be luck. My height, for example, was luck. If you're, like I mentioned, Kobe Bryant earlier, he was born 6'6", 6'7", however tall he was. That's luck. Our average man is damn near a foot smaller than most basketball players. Luck could be you born into a family where everybody loves music, so you're exposed to music all the time, so you might become a singer and a dancer like Beyonce or a Justin Bieber or Taylor Swift or whoever your favorite singer is. Luck can just be things happening to you that you did not control. You did not ask for them. You did not make them happen. You didn't work hard for them. It just happened to you, and then you were able to do something with it. Now, let me explain something about luck. Because there are a lot of people out here who hear something like that and they say, oh, well, luck happens to everyone else, but luck never happened to me. Listen, luck has happened to everyone. The difference is that differentiates people who make it and people who don't is some people recognize their luck and they harness it and do something with it, and it turns into something tangible. And other people, luck happens to them. They don't recognize it as luck. They ignore it, or they recognize it, but they do nothing with it. So then they end up saying, well, I never got lucky. Luck never happened to me. Luck happens to everyone. Luck has happened to you. It will happen to you again. The question is not whether or not it will occur, because I already told you that it will and it has. The question is, are you going to do something with it? Most people fail to do anything with the luck that occurs to them. So me, again, being tall was luck for me because I wanted to play basketball. Now, if I wanted to be a guitar player, would my height have been luck? Absolutely not. I wouldn't have thought of it that way. But because I played basketball, recognizing that I was tall, I knew that was part of my luck. Do you understand? So what you're doing and what you're trying to do with yourself determines what you recognize as luck and what you completely ignore to be luck. And let me tell you one more thing. Point number 5. Here's a fact. Any one of these elements could make or break your opportunities in life. So your skill, your talent, your timing, or your luck can make or break your chance of making it in life. There is no magic bullet to make any of these automatically happen. However, at Work on Your Game University, workonyourgameu.com, I have masterclasses covering every one of these: talent, skill, timing, and luck. Multiple. Notice I said masterclasses, plural. Multiple masterclasses covering each one of these, how to work with them, how to use them, how to recognize them, what to do when they're not working the right way. I cover all of that at Work on Your Game University, and we are creating a streamlined offer for the whole Work on Your Game system that's coming very soon this year, that's going to take all this stuff that I do. Because I know I talk about a lot of stuff. I got a lot of products and books and all that. And sometimes people get confused. Sometimes we get confused. So we're going to make sure that that problem is eliminated, and we're going to fix that this year. So stay tuned with that. So what I'm about to do right now is I'm going to recap these points that I just gave you. I'm going to tell you about these publications right here. Then I'm going to answer questions. We got 8 minutes. So if you got a question, go ahead and post it right now. Keep it short and get to the point. All right, this right here, it's called The Mirror of Motivation, Self-Guide to Self-Discipline. This book is free. All you do is cover the shipping. Let me tell you why you want it, first of all. This book is the first of 4 books in what I call the Bulletproof Bundle that cover discipline, confidence, mental toughness, and personal initiative. This book is the Self-Guide to Self-Discipline, the first element of the Work on Your Game philosophy. Why do you want this book? Because everybody who's listening to me right now, there's something that you want in life. You have goals, right? And you understand that you got to work to get to your goals. I mean, you wouldn't be listening to a guy with a shirt that says work on your game if you didn't believe in working, right? So you're working to get to your goal. The challenge that you and many other people have in life is that they know what they want. They're working hard, yet they never ask themselves a critical question, which is, who do I need to be in order to do the work, in order to get the result? What type of person do I need to be? How do I need to see myself in the mirror? How do I need to carry myself? What kind of energy do I need to have? That's what this book is about. It's about the being part. When you get the being right, then you get to the doing. then you get to the having. What most people in life do, they go straight to the work, straight to the doing part, and then they wonder why the having isn't happening. Is because you are missing the first element of the combination. That is this: the mirror of motivation and self-guide to self-discipline. The book is already paid for. I paid for the book. All you do is cover the shipping. Go to mirrorofmotivation.com. So the title of the book, just take out the word the, mirrorofmotivation.com. The book's paid for. You tell me where to ship it. It's going worldwide, anywhere you at. This right here is called the Overseas Basketball Blueprint. This book is for anyone who wants to play professional basketball overseas. And this one is much more self-explanatory. If you want to play basketball overseas, I am the plug. I wrote 4 books about playing ball overseas. Nobody else has written anything about playing ball overseas. If you want to play overseas, you know who I am. If you don't, you better find out. Allow me to reintroduce myself. The Overseas Basketball Blueprint. I went to a D3 school where I walked on no prospects, no agents, no opportunities handed to me when I got out of school. Made a 9-year career happen out of it. If you want to do anything close to that, go to balloverseas.com. This book is already paid for. You cover the shipping. Balloverseas.com. I shouldn't even have to sell you on this. Balloverseas.com. All that being said, let me recap these 4 points that you need to make it in life. Number 1, skill. Practice ability. Number 2, timing. Natural inclination to do something. There's a difference between the two. Number 3, timing. Something happening, you being in the right place at the right time. You cannot always control that, but you can strategize by being in the places where things are happening. Number 4, luck. You can't always control your luck, but you can recognize your luck based on what you're trying to do with yourself and what you're trying to do with your life. Now, we got 5 minutes exactly. I'm going to answer the questions that we have here in the comment section. We got exactly 5 minutes. You got a question, go ahead and post it. Make it quick. All right, we got NDS trying to make it as a young entrepreneur. That's what's up. We got MMA coach and gym owner, pro athlete and entrepreneur. So this is the things that I asked. If anybody, what you're trying to make it in life in right now. And those are what some people said. So shout out to people who responded to that. NDS says, you mentioned not doing what everyone else is doing. I'm going to do an online business selling products. Should I sell something popular that has a large market, or should I sell a unique product? You should do both. You should sell a unique product to a large market. You can find, it doesn't even have to be a large market. It depends on what you're selling, honestly. If you're selling a niche product, as long as you can find the right audience and depending on how much you're selling it for and how much money you want to make or need to make, you can sell to a very small audience and still make a living. It depends on what your goals are. So before I answer that question, it depends on what your goals are. The answer is it depends. How much money you're trying to make, what are you trying to do with this? What kind of product you're selling? All those things, what you would need to answer. Don't tell me, because I'm not your business coach. I could be, but I'm not. You got to answer those questions first of all. What is the actual goal? It's not really about the size of the audience or the uniqueness of the product yet. First, you got to figure out where you're trying to go with it. Then you work backwards. It's hard to describe. Yeah, I get it. So your job in DS Loading is to make it easy to describe. That is your job as an entrepreneur. Take the complex and make it simple. Because if it's complex for your audience, you know what they're going to do? They're going to do nothing. They're not going to buy it. Now, if you have a complex offer that people don't understand what it is, they will not buy it. Trust me, I know. The Limelight says, do you think it's okay to strive for fame and material things? Yes, I think it's okay. Just be careful what you ask for, because you might reach that and then you might get there and realize that you didn't actually want it. So make sure you want it before you get it. You can strive for whatever you want. As long as it's not hurting anybody else or violating the law or somebody or ethics, then you could go after whatever you want. Fame there are people who have it. Material things like money, cars, people got it. There's nothing wrong with going after it. They're real things. Vinny, what's going on? Sports Lover says, would you still do business with the company if their customer service is poor, but the results are great? That's a good question. It depends on how great those results are. Depends on how much I need those results. If I really, really need the results, I would try to avoid even dealing with their customer service if there's no other alternative. But if they're that good, what I would actually do is I would reach out to them and let them know their customer service is terrible, even though I love the product. And they would probably listen to me because I'm complimenting their product and telling them they need to get their shit together. So they would probably listen. That's what I would do. Vinny says, positive vibes. I appreciate that. Oh, tattoo shop owner. Shout out to the tattoo shops. All right, so we got 2 minutes. I'll take like one more question, then we got to wrap this up because I got a call. I got to hop on at exactly 4 o'clock. For those of you who don't know, this book right here, Work on Your Game, using the pro athlete mindset to dominate your game in business, sports, and life. Yes, live this summer, die this summer. That's right, from back in the hoop days. This is a hardcover book. You can get this book shipped to you worldwide by going to workonyourgamebook.com. This book right here, not only are we going to give you this book, we'll give you over $1,300 in immediate digital bonuses. That's audio, video, and written material you get immediately right now to your phone while you wait for us to ship you the book. That offer is only available at workonyourgamebook.com. It's not available anywhere else. If you get the book on Amazon, that's fine. We still appreciate it because you still get the book. We still get paid off that. But you don't get the bonuses unless you get it at workonyourgamebook.com. That's the only place you can get the bonuses. Workonyourgamebook.com. Mirrormotivation.com. balloverseas.com. I could tell you the website to every book I got, but then you'd be too confused and you wouldn't do nothing. ARB, I appreciate you. Emily says, what will you classify success as? Or each person individually can choose what their success is. They get to define it. All right, we're at 3:59. Y'all know what I like to say. Early's on time, so I got to get off here so I can be ready for my call. Everybody, I do these lives every day, so stay tuned. Work on Your Game University. You want to hear my masterclasses every day, go to workonyourgameu.com. Your first 2 weeks, free. Cost you absolutely nothing. Free 99 on me. Workonyourgameu.com. Everybody have a great day. Stay safe. Work on your game. We out.